Okay, I think we are live. Welcome to the channel. Today, I want to do something a little different. I am working on finalizing everything for F and Strong, which is our strongman competition that's coming up in just a couple of weeks, 20 days from now. And we're going to be running 75-ish people, give or take. People obviously are dropping in and out. We've had a few people ask to get added to it last minute. Unfortunately, we are at capacity currently. If people do fall off, we'll try to fill those spots. But shirts have already been ordered. Everything's on its way, and we are getting ready to go. As you can see, I've already got the banner for the competition. Did have a few people reach out and ask if we could get some videos or kind of a rundown of what the events are going to go, how they are going to go, what they're going to look like. So today, wanted to make a short video where I break down each event, go over the rules, give you kind of the frequently asked questions, and go through what type of supportive equipment you can wear, and then kind of give a demonstration. So I'll overlay the videos, but we're going to start off with, first off, the Max Hummer tire floor press. It is going to be a little different. We are not going to divide you up by classes. You're going to be divided up into lane 1 and 2. There's not going to be, all right, we're going to knock out all the teen novice, and then we're going to drop back down and reset, and then we're going to do the others. We're actually going to do one rise on both lanes. You're going to have to jump in and out as necessary. If you fail a lift, you are out. That is something we've changed recently. Originally, we said we would give you some time to recover, maybe even drop the weight back down and let you try again. For time's sake, we are going to do, if you fail, you are out. So you will get 3 attempts as long as you have attempts remaining. We're going to start with 2 lanes. Like I said, the first one is going to have bumper plates on a rise platform. I'll have some drop pads underneath it. And it's going to be the same height for everybody. We're not going to change the height based off of you. It's going to be set height, which is roughly 15 to 16 inches off the ground for the bar. You'll get set. You'll have a competitor ready, lift, and from there, you'll have 30 seconds to press it and lock it out. Now, if you fail immediately, say you try, but you still have 20 seconds left on the clock, you can try again in your 30 seconds. If you go through that whole 30 seconds and fail to get the attempt, you are done. If you get it, you can step back. Once we get to the next weight that you want to attempt, then you hop back in. The way that'll go is lane 1 will start as low as, I think, 65 pounds. Let me take a look real quick. Yes. So 65 pounds, that is the bar with 10s on each side. Um, for lane 1, it will jump 10 pounds. So if you're in the divisions in lane 1, which I sent an email out to most of the people who are competing, to all the people who are competing at this point, telling you which lane you'll be in. But lane 1 will be 10-pound jump. So it'll go 65, 75, 85, 95, all the way up. Once we get to where the tire weights are, which will be 205 for the lightest set, we'll go 205. We'll take the bumpers off, put the tires on, and then you'll go up from tires in lane 1 by 10 pounds. Lane 2 will be starting at 205 with the first set of tires. Once we get to 245, we'll go to the second set of tires so the first set can move over to lane 1 when necessary. But lane 2 is going to be doing 20-pound jumps. So you'll be going from 205, 225, 245, which is the new tires, and then going up from there. What we'll do is when the bar is loaded, say it's 205 on the bar, we'll announce 205 on the bar for lane 1 or lane 2, whichever one it is, who is going to make this attempt. It doesn't matter if you're what division you're in. I want you to line up in whatever order. If you don't want to go first, let somebody go in front of you, but you will have to make your attempt. We'll get your name as you step up. You'll lay down flat to the ground, legs extended, no bent knees. You'll be able to wear wrist wraps. You'll be able to wear anything except for a slingshot. And then you'll roll the bar on over your chest. You get the go command. You press, lock out, wait for the down command, and then you can release. Roll it back, step to the side, wait for the next weight that you want to do. You're not telling us. We're going to announce, all right, next up is 245. Who's going to go? Everyone who's going to make the attempt for 245 needs to line up. From there, we're going to go until it's maxed out or everyone fails out. And we are going to move over, haven't announced the order of the events, but what it's going to look like is the next event is going to be the car deadlift. We're going to go into that. For lane one, I'm still waiting to get some testing done on the second setup. But lane one will either be at the lightest, will be loaded kegs or axle bar with weights to simulate. We're going to try to get the looks like the lightest in hand feel we're shooting for is somewhere around 200 pounds. That's for the novice women. And then we'll probably jump up 50 to so pounds per hand. Or not per hand, for the handles per class. We're trying to get it something that's reasonable. It's not going to be a failure point, but something that you're not going to get 60, 70 reps and a 60-second go. You'll have 60 seconds for your own time to go. As you step up to the handles, you'll be able to strap in before we tell you go. So you'll have plenty of time to get set, get ready, and then you'll have your heel. You will hear competitor ready, lift. Once you give the nod, they'll say lift. You start lifting. Now you will have to wait for the up and the down call. So when you say lift, stand up. You're going to wait for the judge to tell you down, set the bar down, wait for them to tell you to come back up. You can't just touch and go. If you do, that rep will not count. You will have to redo it. So you're going to waste the whole rep. Set it down, wait for them to say up, down, up, down. So, based off the first and second set for the car deadlift, if we get what we hope to get, we will have a car deadlift frame that extends and gets longer, which makes the lift easier. We have two vehicles. We have a small sedan. Actually, it's more of a coupe. It's got, I think it's two door. So, it's a very small vehicle that we're going to use for the lighter divisions if we have the extending handles. If we don't have the extending handles and it's a fixed frame, we're going to do kegs and weights to just simulate the pull until we get into the divisions that are going to be cars regardless. The second handle is a fixed frame. It's going to have a black SUV. It's my wife's Equinox. It's going to feel somewhere, if it's just the Equinox, it's going to feel somewhere in like the 370 to 400 pounds in your hands. What we'll do is that'll be kind of the low end for lane two. And from there, we can add weights. There's weight horns right behind the handles, so we can actually make it more difficult just by adding a little bit of weight onto the handles. We'll do that for the bigger divisions. And I think, let me double check. The way it looks is going to be all the men open weight divisions are going to be on lane two, which will be the SUV, and the Masters men, and possibly the novice men. Everybody else will be in lane one, which will, like I said, either be a setup that's simulating a car deadlift with kegs and weights, or we'll have the frame that we're hoping to get that extends the arms and we'll do an actual car. All right, from car deadlift into the yoke carry. Yoke carry is going to be for time, but you will be able to get set, put your shoulders under the bar, get ready, just can't lift it up. Um, for most of these divisions, the weight should not, I don't see anybody failing this. I'm not going to say no one will, but we try to design these weights that'll be where everybody's just competing for speed. You know, the F and Strong is not designed to break you, it's designed to just get you comfortable in this scenario. So with this competition, I think the heaviest weight is 700 for the men's super heavyweight. The lightest weight is the empty yoke, and that's for the women's learner division, which I think we only have one person in that division. We'll run two lanes with this. We'll set you up. It'll be a 50-foot run. You'll have competitor ready. You can get it underneath the bar, get it set to your shoulders, go or lift, and you'll have as quick as you can to run at 50 feet. You have unlimited drops. So if you drop it, you misstep, it's not a big deal. Just pick it back up, keep going. You have 60 seconds to complete the run. If you don't complete the run, we will take measurements, and that'll be the secondary how to judge position. From there, the carpool. Now, this one we have had a lot of issues. We have tried working with a moving company. We've tried working with a trucking company. We have not been able to secure a larger vehicle. We had at one point a Hummer possibly set up. It was like an old school Humvee for military with a trailer on the backside of it, but it's not been functional apparently. So they've not been able to bring it over. The plan is to use my pickup truck, which is a 7,000 pound Chevy pickup truck. I can get strapped in and just lean forward and start rolling. So it's not impossible. I have had small teenagers, women, men, everybody pull my truck. It's never been failed. So the plan is to start with that as the baseline for the lowest division, and then slowly either increase weight by adding stuff into the bed of the truck and or flattening my tires a little bit to make it a little more difficult. Now, once we get into, I believe it's the novice men lightweight, we're going to attach a trailer. We got a 16-foot trailer to attach to the backside of it, which is roughly, I think they said around 2,000 pounds. That'll be just an empty trailer loaded to the back of my truck, which will put it to around, I messed up here, I put 10,000. It's going to be around 9,000 pound pull. And then from the novice men lightweight going up into the super heavyweight, we're going to add weight into the trailer. I'm not sure the trailer's capacity, but I think he said somewhere 3 to 4,000 pounds. So we could possibly get up to about a 14,000 pound pull. Again, this will be for time. You'll get strapped in on the harness. You'll get a rope to actually pull with your hands. You don't have to use the rope, but you will have, it's going to be, I think I put 50 feet. Let me double check that. Yep. So it's going to be a 50-foot pull. You'll get strapped in. You'll get competitor ready. Give the nod, lift. You'll pull as fast as you can. If you do fail for some reason, do not make it to the 50-foot before the time runs out, which is 60 seconds, we'll take the measurements. So we will do measurements for that as well. Now, the last event is the Captain America Hulk. This event is, from my understanding, a one of a kind event. I've never seen it done in any other show. I created it for the Limit Breaker in 2023. And what it is, essentially, you will have a 2-inch battle rope in one hand that's anchored to a center anchor. And off to each side of that anchor, there's going to be 2 setups. We'll have one for lane 1. It's going to be the Smith machine. It's a little bit easier. Or sorry, the leg press is going to be lane 1. It's a little bit easier because there's friction against the rope over the bar. It's going to cause it to give you a little bit more stability. So you'll have the anchor rope in one hand, and you'll have the other rope that's tied to the leg press. On the other hand, it's progressively getting heavier. So every 10 seconds, we will add weight. For the leg press, it's going to start with an empty frame, which weighs about 100 pounds, but it's going to feel somewhere in like the 30 to 40 pounds in your hand. It's not really heavy. When we release it, you don't even really feel a tug. It's not until we add the first weight that you're going to feel any change. We're going to go 25 pounds on each side twice. So you'll end up with 4 25s on each side if you make it to 40 seconds. And at the 50-second mark, we'll start jumping 10 pounds. So 10 to each side from there. If you're in lane 2, it's going to be the Smith machine. Now, the Smith machine is much more difficult. We've never used it in competition. I've tested it recently with some friends. I actually tested it with me and 3 other guys who did this in competition last year. And every one of us dropped it a lot quicker at a lot lighter weight than we did on the leg press. So the plan is to have it set up with 35 pounds on each side starting, which is going to feel, it's going to be 95 pounds, but it's going to feel like 95 pounds because it's a single pulley going straight down to the bar. There's no friction over the bar. So as soon as it's released, you're going to feel all 95 pounds in your hand. Now from there, we're going to jump 25 pounds each side twice. So at the 40-second mark, that will be a 35 on each side and 2 25s. After that, we will jump 10 pounds. You will go until you release it. There is no time limit on this. If you last, but here's the kicker: every 10 seconds, it gets heavier and heavier. So I don't anticipate anyone making it past like a minute and a half. So at this point, we are running 2 lanes for 4 of the 5 events. Unfortunately, the truck pull is going to take the longest. We have 70-something athletes. However, again, I don't see this taking very long to run through 70 athletes on my truck. It's not like we're going to have someone exhausting all 60 seconds every time. So that's a quick run through of all the events. Like I said, I'll put videos alongside this. Additional information. Now, far as awards go, everyone's going to get their welcome bag. that has stuff from some of our great sponsors. Let's see if you can see everybody. Okay, so this side. All right. Ward Smelling Salts has donated a bottle to every athlete. Cerberus has donated funds to help us do some cash prizes and other things. We have, let's see, Ivy League, I believe, is planning on being here to hand out drinks, possibly sell drinks if they can. I'm not sure what they're going to be doing. Over here, we have World's Strongest Opinion and Kratos both donated cash to um, Limit Breaker, which helped this show as well because any equipment that we get for Limit Breaker also rolls over into Effin Strong. We run both of them. Valkyrie Strength Club on this side, they are donating gift cards. We'll get those printed off. Not everyone who podiums is going to get one, but several will. Lift and Press is donating equipment. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Here we go. So, Lift and Press, this is who we plan to get our secondary log press from, or not log press, sorry, deadlift platform from. They also provided equipment for the Limit Breaker as well. So, they are a company out of Georgia who does a lot of custom work. Lift, Lifting Innovations Fitness Technologies, Lift. They do wrist straps. They're donating wrist straps for, not wraps, straps for the winners. I think it's first place podium winners. Dude Wipes is down here. You can't quite see it, but they donated some stuff for all the welcome bags. Then we have Ironstone Fitness that donated, Airwave that donated some stuff to both events. And then you have these guys up here, Forge. I'm looking at the video camera, so it's hard to do this reverse. We have Forge, we have West Alabama Strongman, who do so much to support us. They bring equipment. Um, a lot of the equipment that you're going to use in this competition are from them as well. And then obviously us up here in this top corner, Ellison Fitness. That is my gym. That is who we are using. Well, we are hosting it, so it's our venue, our gym. And then there's a lot of other people. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Oh, I did miss some people. So we have down here at the bottom, it's hard to see. Evolution Athletics has donated some gift cards as well. LMNT is going to give you some hydration packets for all your welcome bags. And Alabama Paintball. Those are the ones who donated some Alabama Paintball as well. They donated some cash to the other event, which again rolls over into this one. We don't really keep any money, any cash that goes into the events that's used on equipment. I try to make you sponsors for both events. Okay. Speaking of cash prizes are determined based off of how many people are in your division. I have to reevaluate this the day of because we have people jumping from division to division, some moving up, some moving down, some asking to be moved up to open, and so forth. But as it stands right now, divisions that have at least 5 people in their division will get first place cash prize of $50. And the rest of the podium, unfortunately, will not get cash. They may get gift cards depending on the amount of gift cards that we have. If you have 6 to 10 people in your division, you will get $50 for first, $25 for second. Again, gift cards may fall into some of this. Divisions that have 11 people or more, which as of right now looks like there's 3. First will get $50, second and third will get $25. I know it's not quite your entry fees back, but between t-shirts, welcome bags, cash prizes, trophies, medals, all that stuff, I hope that you feel like you got your money's worth. All right. So we've talked about cash prizes. We've talked about the events. Supportive gear. So this has been a question that I've received by a lot of people because, again, most of our athletes are first-time athletes or first-time competitors. You know, they've not done other shows. We're not sanctioned, so you don't have to join a league or a sanctioned body or get a membership to USS or Strong Corp just to compete in our show. But as far as equipment goes, there is nothing off limits except deadlift suit and tacky. Outside of that, as of right now, you can use pretty much anything else. Oh, let me clarify. On the grip event, you cannot use wrist wraps. So anything wrapped around the wrist to tighten your grip, you cannot use. So tacky, wrist wraps on the grip event, and deadlift suits. So you can use grip shirts for any event you want. Yoke, for the I think the yoke is the only one that's going to help you for it. But belts, um, compression clothing, sleeves, wraps, all that stuff is fine. So you should be good on supportive equipment. I had someone call me and ask me, is there a specific type of belt you had to use? We are not powerlifting. We're not going to get that detailed. As long as you're not double stacking two hard belts, so putting a hard belt on top of another hard belt, I don't care. You can do soft over under the hard, but you can't do two hard belts on top of each other. Trophies. So mentioned it earlier when I was talking about the cash prizes. First place will get a trophy for each division. Second and third places will get medals. They are actual metal. I didn't get plastic ones, thankfully. I was kind of curious when I ordered it. It was so cheap. So, and you might have heard me speak about the learner division at one point. The learner division currently only has two people, one male, one female. They will have the option to move up day up if they choose. If they do not, that's fine. Essentially, that position is something I test piloted this year. We had a lot of people who still, even though we kind of make our event a little lighter and a little bit easier, hesitate to join us. They still didn't feel like they were confident enough. They didn't have the equipment to train on. They didn't have somebody there to help coach them. So what we did is Jeremy, Shell, and I. Well, now it's up to Todd and Trey. All four of us. We work under Alabama Strongman Coaching. We each do our own separate stuff, but as far as strongman goes, if someone comes to Alabama coaching, they get one of us four. We kind of divide it up and work together. But we do in this event, we're going to do learner divisions, which essentially you pay for a T-shirt, a quick how-to tutorial the day of before the event starts, and then you get to attempt. So, for example, the first event of the day is the max floor press. We'll bring the two learners up to the front. We'll discuss it with the entire team. We'll talk to all the athletes again, say, we got time to warm up right now. Everybody can start warming up on lane one or lane two, whatever it may be. And we'll take the learners over to the side, let them do their attempt. We'll give them a couple of tries on heavier weights. It's going to be very quick. We're going to show them how to do it safely. We're going to walk them through and let them do a couple of attempts and see where they stand. Now, they're not going to be competing against anyone. They're not going to get trophies, prizes, anything like that. They'll get a welcome bag and a T-shirt, but it still gets them involved, lets them see what they're getting into, lets them make the decision if next year they want to be more competitive. Now, they have up until we do the rules meeting the morning of to jump up, which we already had. At one point, we had 5 learners, and now we're down to 2. So 3 people have already moved up. Okay, so if you have any other questions outside of what I've explained, I know we're going to go into a lot more details with the rules and stuff the day of. So we're not here. This competition is not here to set records. It's not here to show you who the strongest in the area is. It's really designed to help build the sport, grow the people. We want this to be the springboard into the bigger shows. Now, between the USS competitions and the Strong Corp competitions in the state, you have tons of options. And I'm so grateful that you chose us to sign up and compete this year. But please take this opportunity to grow as an athlete and go out and venture into some of these really competitive, really fun, and really well put together shows. Now, okay, so real quick, in May there is the Battle of the Forge 3, which is a huge competition as far as weights go. Like if you do this show, you're going to be tested really heavy. I'm competing in it myself. I love this show. I've done it for the last 2 years, and I anticipate on competing there whenever I can. If you are under 18, or I think it's 18 and under, and or you have a kid that's interested in the sport, there is a competition in Beaverton, Alabama called West Alabama Titan Teens and Mighty Midgets 2. It's the second year they're hosting it. I will be live streaming it along with Battle of the Forge, and it's in on June 1st. Great show, well put together, and the kids have a good time. Outside of Alabama, outside of that, the next show I think is in August in Alabama. It's Alabama Strongest Man. It's on their 12th year, longest running strongman show around, um, put on by Chris Slater and his team. His team is also our team. We're going to be using Damian Norris and Chris Stewart to come help me, Todd, Jeremy, and Trey all run the show. We've got 6 judges for this show, so it should go fairly quick. But Alabama Strongest is, like I said, one of the longest running shows. They've got a wonderful team. It's down at the Hangout on Gulf Shores. We'll be streaming it on our channel too. Uh, if you win this, you are considered Alabama Strongest. So it's a great title show. And then after that, I don't think it's listed yet on Iron Podium, but there are 2 other shows potentially coming to Alabama this year. I don't know if they would care if I share this or not, but there's looking to be one in September and one in October. I think the one in September may be Strong Corp, which is what Alabama Strongest Man is. And the other one in October, I think, is USS, which is United States Strongman, same as Battle of the Forge. So I think there's 4 shows after mine this year in Alabama alone, 2 of Strong Corp and 2 of USS. Be sure to support them. Um, Test your limits, see what you can do. Every one of the shows that I've listed here, minus the kids show, they're not quite they're not quite there yet. But the show in October, September, Alabama Strongest, and Battle of Forge all potentially can earn you an invite to the Limit Breaker in 2025. I've run through this a long time. I'm going to try to edit this down a little bit and get it shorter. But remember, guys, have fun, stay safe, and bring tents, chairs. If you want any of that, we will have a competitor's tent in the off to the side. It's competitors only. You can't bring your family and friends over there. It's going to be so the athletes can get away from everything and kind of calm down, cool off. We'll have water provided for them. There will be food trucks here. There will be plenty of parking around the building. There will be a ton of parking across the street in the overflow yard. It's a big field, like just right across the road. It's not across the highway, it's across the side road. So you have plenty of space and it's safe to walk across. There will be 2 food trucks. I think I already said that. We'll have 4 porta potties here. I do apologize. We are not allowing anyone into the building itself that is not staff. We are not able to allow people in and out of the building because we don't have this manpower to maintain and make sure that nothing gets tore up or anything gets taken out of the building that's not supposed to be taken out of the building. So we will have clean, freshly delivered porta potties on site the day of. There'll be 4 of them. But there's also a gas station right behind us. You can walk there. And then other than that, I hope to see you all soon. Shoot me a message on Instagram, Facebook. You can message me at EFInStrong on Instagram. You can shoot me a direct email at ChristopherDEllison@outlook.com. Heck, you could even give me a call. I don't mind that. My number is 205-913-7996. All right, y'all have a great day.